and this is the Weekly Heartbeat. This week I had my first intentional sit-down meeting with James. Kind of just going over, like I mentioned last week, making all of the Google worksheets that included our goals and what we had to do to reach those goals. I also, in those workbook sheets, had included a way to start tracking all of these things. So it was our first meeting, kind of going over all of that and making sure that he understood what the goals were and what we had to do to reach them. And we went over quite a bit. I took him out to lunch and we had a couple of hours to kind of set a few things up and just talk out quite a few things, which at the beginning of the year is extra important. But I do think it's super important to have weekly meetings as well. I know a lot of people will say, well, I don't really have enough employees for that. This was just James and I. I think once there's more than one person besides yourself, that it's important to be sharing all of that information and just providing clarity for them on where you're going and what you're expecting out of them. Once you have more than one person involved, it becomes a team. And I think it's important that it's extremely clear to each team member what we're considering to be success. So what we went over was our annual goal, and then we broke it down. I let him look at the spreadsheets, and we broke it down into our weekly goals, our monthly goals. I explained how we could still be making up if our first 2 weeks of a month just are not the hottest, how that can be made up, even if it's another time throughout the year, but that our main goal is to hit the annual goal. Of course, we want to hit the weekly and monthly goals as well, but just to make sure that you know that you can also be a little bit flexible on it, that the annual goal is the one that really matters. Of course, there's a lot more that is important to talk about in these meetings. We also went over expectations for personal growth. I started an Audible account for him to use, and he's gonna start by listening to Who Moved My Cheese, which was the last book I did a book report on. We also went over, he had mentioned a few weeks prior that he might need a gas card, so I got him set up with that, and we went over the expectations and the parameters for using the card. And that's a trust building exercise as well with any employee. So you have to make sure there's some safeguards and boundaries there. We also went over what he envisions for his future, where he wants to be working up to, or where he envisions himself in the next 5 years. And if that is with us, and if he would like to stay on the truck, or if he has dreams to do something a little bit more. I think to really successfully retain your employees and manage them well, it's important to know what their goals are and what they're growing, what they want to grow towards, in order to provide them the proper opportunities and give them chances to advance within the company. You need to know what they're trying to advance towards. So that's something that I made sure that we went over. Growth isn't just about building or technical skills, it's about mindset, really. So we definitely made sure that we went over, and I got a much better understanding of what he was trying to do, which I think is going to help immensely in the future. I really want us to be learning while we're building. And with Audible, I hate to be asking people to take all this extra time in their personal time to be reading, especially if they're working a ton. So Audible at least allows them to do it, since it is a job where they spend time in the car driving between jobs, or even while they're working, it can be listening and growing while we're building and learning. So I think that is a really good option to be giving your employees if that's something that you're interested in doing. I really try in general to keep his opinions as part of everything. So while I'm not putting the decisions all in his hands, I'm at least always asking for a little bit of feedback, because he might have ideas that are better than mine about how things work, or when he's actually out there and he looks at one of the processes I've created and is like, this is taking me forever, it seems redundant. Like, that's all important feedback to me. So I definitely always try to give him some opportunities to do that. I ask for his opinions. I also just ask him what's working and what I could be doing better, because I always have room for improvement as well, as I'm sure everybody does. So that's just something important to keep in mind. Because leadership isn't just giving instructions, it's actually inviting ownership. That also is going to make them more invested in the job. It's going to make them a little more prideful of what they're doing. But also, if you're explaining all the reasons behind everything and it makes more sense, it's more likely that they're going to end up wanting to do it or just doing it. Because sometimes it can be hard to get people to start incorporating new habits and systems into their everyday routines, you know? Because when it really comes down to it, systems should be supporting people, not controlling them. So if I'm just being a dictator about everything, I'm really limiting myself and not giving myself an opportunity to grow as well. Really, the final big point that I think is important to go over in all meetings is the jobs that are coming up that week. We went over all the diagrams, all the pictures, anything weird about any of them to take note of. I'm pretty involved in obviously I'm the one that does the staging, and I'm pretty involved in making sure all of that runs smoothly. But going over it at the beginning of the week allows there to be less chance for mistakes and less confusion. And that way, if I am busy during when a job is being done, it's not a frantic hustle to try to get a hold of me if I'm unreachable. So those are just some of the important things that I think that you should be going over at every meeting, but especially in your annual meeting. And by annual meeting, I just mean the meeting at the beginning of the year when you've set all these goals, and your employees need to know that so that they know what you guys need to do for the year. Because direction creates confidence, and it doesn't matter how many there are on your team, everybody still needs the roadmap. So I hope you all are having a fabulous week. I am interested to know, though, if you have meetings with your team and what you think is important to talk about in yours. So I look forward to hearing from you soon, and bye.